Conversations with Corissa. Today, I am going to make my famous sweet potato bread. It's that time of the year around the fall, the holidays. I love to bake, and one of my favorite um, thing that I like to bake is sweet potato bread, and my husband likes it too. So he was pretty excited when I told him that I was getting ready to start doing it for the season. So I want to tell you a little bit about the ingredients. You're going to use a medium-sized sweet potato, but basically, as long as it measure out to a cup, because the ingredients require a cup of sweet potato. So what we have here is that we have 1 cup of sugar, we have 2 eggs, we have 1/3 cup of oil, we have half a cup of water, and then we have 1 3/4 cup of flour. I'm using wheat flour. I'm using 1 cup of wheat flour and 3/4 cup of just regular white flour, and they're all-purpose flour. Um, we're using for our spices is we're using cinnamon and we're using nutmeg. We're using 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So right now I am going to sift my flour together. And I'm going to only do 1 sift. Currently, I've already cut up the sweet potato and I've already put it in the pot, so right now it's boiling, because that will be the last ingredient we put into our batter. So I'm going to go ahead and sift the flour. You can also add nuts to this too. I am going to add nuts to one side of the batter once I get it in the pan, and I'll show you the pan that you're going to use. It's actually a bread pan, but I'll show that to you as well. I'm only going to put it on one side because my husband is allergic to nuts, so I can't douse it with a lot of nuts. We just have to do one side of the bread. I have to be fair. You can use any kind of nuts. Right now I'm using walnuts. Okay, put that aside. Okay, so I'm going to combine the rest of my dry ingredients, which will be the baking soda, which is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Yes. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, I did that wrong. I did more than a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's not what we're going to do. So I just did a blunder, but that's okay. We're going to fix this. I got a lot of baking soda and I got a lot of salt, and I'm not getting ready to mess this up. So I'm going to get rid of this and we're going to start over. We're going to do, again, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. As I said, I used the wrong one. I should have had my glasses on. Okay, so we do 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a fourth of teaspoon of salt, okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm going to mix this together in one. I'm only going to put a little bit of the cinnamon because my husband really doesn't like cinnamon. But I want to put a little bit in it because the ingredients does require that you do cinnamon in the recipe. I'm gonna add nutmeg. I love nutmeg. Usually I love nutmeg. I really do. So I'm gonna put a little bit more nutmeg in it than it requires because that's just what I want to do because I like nutmeg. I like to put nutmeg in tea, and also like to put cinnamon in tea. I love all types of tea. I love green tea. I love Earl Grey tea. I love English tea. I love all of it. I'm tea to me is like tea to coffee, to coffee lovers. I love tea. I have to have it. Okay, so I put my salt, my baking soda, and my spices are mixed in here. So now I'm gonna mix it into my flour. And what I like to do is to mix it up really well. I'm gonna mix it up really well, really well. Oh, it smells so good. The cinnamon smells, not the cinnamon, but the nutmeg. It smells so good. So good. So I like to mix that up really good. And I am going to post the ingredients as well so that you can see that as well. Okay. And right now, as I said, our sweet potatoes are boiling, and it requires 1 cup of sweet potatoes. Okay, so now that is mixed up pretty good, I'm gonna set that aside and we're gonna add our sugar and oil together. My mixer is on the other side, so I may just bring that over as well so that you can see it. So I'm going to step out of the frame for 1 second and then bring you over so that you can see what I'm doing over at the mixer. Give me 1 second. I tell you, bacon, for me, I love it. I love it. I'm a very good pound cake baker as well. Awesome. I make very good sweet potato pie. Very good sweet potato pie. All right, so we're gonna come over to the mixer. I'm gonna see if you can see this. I'm pouring my sugar. And let me see if I can raise this up a little bit so that you can see everything. All right. I'm going to put you here so you can see. Whoa. Okay, so I'm going to add my sugar and oil together and mix that up for a minute. So then I also want to show you the sweet potatoes are boiling. I believe they might be ready, so let me give it a check. Sweet potatoes are not quite ready, but we're just going to let it boil and they'll be ready pretty soon. But in the meantime, I'm gonna let this cook for a minute, get it together, let it mix up, and then I'm gonna add the flour, and then I'm gonna add the water. Okay? So while this is mixing up, the sugar and the oil mixing up, I'm going to also add the eggs. And again, it requires 2 eggs. So we're going to add this in. And make sure when you're adding this in that you turn your mixer down, because you don't want the stuff flopping out of the mixer. Right. Let that mix up for maybe a minute or so. Let it mix up real well when the sugar and the oil and the eggs are completely combined together. Okay, so now we are mixing up our eggs, sugar, and oil. And I'm going to turn this down so that we can start adding in our dry and ingredients, our flour and our water. So first we're going to add our flour. So I'm going to kind of spoon in. Whoa, that's another blunder. I'm going to spoon in some flour. I'm going to turn it down so that the flour will not fly all over the place. So we're going to add a spoonful of flour, turn it up, and we're just going to continue to alternate. Ooh, it smells good. I can't wait to get this completely done. We're going to add in our water, a little bit of water. And turn it up a little bit. Okay, we're going to add some more flour. Put a little bit in there, a bit more in it. Add a little water. And we just, as I said, we're just going to continue to alternate until we're done. And then after we do that, then we're going to add in our sweet potato. And this is actually how that potato that I showed you, let me bring it out. Let me bring one that was similar to it out. So you would get a sweet potato about this size. I would think that this is maybe a medium or maybe a little under a medium, but either way it goes, you would want to, you just need a cup of sweet potato. So this is how much the potato that I showed you before that was similar to what I just showed you. This is how much it came out to be. It's not quite a full cup, but it's right at it. Flour. Right. Now, as far as beating it, how long? You can beat your eggs, sugar, and oil until you see that all of it is blended together. I'm not going to give you a time on that, but it's you see that it looks like more of a creamy-like, and all the substance have been blended together. Then you can start adding your flour and your water into your wet ingredients. Add more water. I'm going to figure out a way to just use nothing but wheat flour. Usually if you use just all ingredients wheat flour, I haven't perfected it to be extremely moist. So that's why I add the wheat flour and the regular white flour together as well. But the next time I do this, I'm gonna try to do it in just nothing but wheat and then kind of see how it. But I did it before and it wasn't as moist as it would if I either did it with just white flour or did it with a combination of white and wheat. So I'm gonna add my last bit of flour. Okay. And my last bit of water. Right. I'm going to let that beat for a little bit. Get it all my dry ingredients completely blended in before I put the sweet potatoes in. And I'm going to get the sides of it as well because I want everything included. Make sure all my dry ingredients are mixed in very well. Give it one more whirl. Ooh. One more whirl, and then I'm going to add my sweet potatoes. All right, now it's time to add the sweet potatoes. Okay, I'm just going to add a little at a time. And you want to beat your batter long enough to get your sweet potatoes kind of blended in really well. You want to eliminate as many clumps in it as possible. So I'm going to add a little at a time and let it beat for a minute, a little bit. And I try to kind of press the sweet potatoes, mash them, really kind of fine so that we won't have large lumps in it. And it won't take the time that it would take to beat it out. I won't have to beat my batter that long because you really don't want to beat your batter too long, but just enough to get everything blended in really well. Okay, I'm going to put the last bit of this in. All right, got that in. And I also like to beat it a little longer too. Sweet potato tends to have strings in them, and I try to beat it long enough to get the strings out of it as well. You don't want a stringy sweet potato bread, so I want to try to get as many of those strings out as possible. All right, beat it a little higher. Yes, this is gonna taste so good. All right, let it beat a little bit longer. All right, let's see how it looks. Okay, so it doesn't look like we got a lot of, any strings in it, so that's a good thing. So that lets me know that that was a pretty decent sweet potato. I don't know what the deal is with the strings in it. If somebody could tell me what's up with the strings in the sweet potatoes. But anyway, this seems to be a pretty good sweet potato that I picked. All right, so now we're gonna go and put it in our pan. Okay, so now we have our batter and we got our pan. This is the size pan that you'll use for this. I'm not sure exactly the size. I would think that it's a medium size, but this is how it looks. And I think I got this at a grocery store, local grocery store. And it says it's a non-stick pan, but I like to spray a little bit more, give it a little bit more oil to the pan. I don't trust when they say it's non-stick, but anyway, I'm gonna add some extra protection in this as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. This is how it looks. Looks good, it looks good, it looks good. I can't wait. Yes. And it's going to taste good too. All right. Get it all out. Let me tell you, this batter is very versatile. I have made blueberry muffins out of the same batter. I've made banana nut bread. anything that you could think of, you can really use this batter to make just about any type of bread you want. It's just that good. You don't necessarily have to use just sweet potatoes. You can change your what you call it. You can change, what do I want to say? You can change your spices. You can use flavoring for your banana nut bread instead of using any other spices. Whatever you choose, you can use that. But this batter is very versatile. All right. Okay. So now I'm getting ready to add my nuts on my side. All right, so like I said, I'm using walnuts, and I'm going to keep it away from my husband's side, because like I said, he's allergic to nuts, and I don't want him to get sick or from, having any type of, I don't even want the nuts to even touch his side at all. But anyway, so let me let you see how it looks. I think I can, I can't show it to you now. Why don't I just show it to you once I'm done baking it? So I'm gonna walk over to the oven. I'm gonna put this in the oven and let it bake for about 60 minutes. And it's on 320 degrees. And you can adjust it according to your stove. I try not to let it cook too fast, because if you do, you think it's cooked just by looking at it on the outside, but because this is so thick, it takes longer for it to cook, and you want to make sure that it's cooked on the inside as well. So I'm going to put this in the oven, let it cook for about 60 minutes. I'll give it the, the toothpick test on the inside to make sure that it is done. So stay tuned for the end results. See you later. All right. I just took this out of the oven, and this is how it looks. Don't it look good? Ugh, it looks really good. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to really get into this. It feels good. I'm doing the test now to see if it's dry, if it's cooked completely on the inside. So it looks like it is. I'm using actually a shish kebab stick to see. I have to put my glasses on, y'all. I can't see. Okay, so it is completely done. It's completely done, y'all. We getting ready to grub in a few minutes. But let me pull it out of the pan. I want to make sure that it's, oh yes, it's ready to pop out. All right, y'all, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. How about that, y'all? How about that? Isn't it pretty? Look at that. Even look at the nuts. Nuts on one side. My husband and mine on the other side, y'all. Well, I'm going to cut it so you can see how it look on the inside as well. Ooh, it's so pretty, y'all. It's so pretty. I'm going to cut my side. Cut a little bit. Ooh, you see that? Let me hold it up so you can see it. I'm cutting it. See that? Ooh. All right, so I want to bring it closer to you so you can see how the insides look. Ooh! That was, ooh. Okay. I didn't mean to do that, but since I did that, let me bring it close to you so you can see it. That's how it looked. Man, see, that's my third blunder on this thing right here. Now you see how it look on the inside? See how pretty that looks? Wow. Okay. All right, y'all. that's it. I'm going to sit down with my husband in a few minutes, or probably tomorrow, and we'll just eat this for like a breakfast. We'll have our tea, and I think he'll have his coffee, and then we'll eat the bread. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, 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 please subscribe. Please put a thumbs up to this. I'm keeping it real. It's a conversation with Corissa. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Next, we're going to have some serious topics going on. But I really wanted to come to you and show you how to make my famous sweet potato bread. And again, I hope I'm going to put the ingredients up so that you can see it. And again, please subscribe and please do a thumbs up, please. A thumbs up, please. And subscribe. All right. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Again, please join me again. So until then, love you, and please love each other, and please, please, please be kind to each other.